would like to know how the crisis has impacted you directly, your family, your business, or your job, and what you think possible solutions might be.
Because I've spoken to countless people, many that I've served with through the British Army, many people in this audience who've worked all over the world in hazardous areas, jungles, you name it, and we've never seen anything like it. It truly is atrocious.
While I was registering my children for school, in the hour that I was there, the power went out 3 times. 3 times. And in that time, the Wi-Fi routers have to be reset, everything has to reboot, and that takes time. What are these kids supposed to do when they're supposed to be learning? That is a huge concern for me. I already, in my area, do not have access to internet. When my kids are issued, school-issued laptops, I have to hotspot them from my cell phone. Well, now when we lose power, we don't get cell service because the towers go out. So how are my children supposed to get an adequate chance at an education? Where is their equal opportunity? Last year alone, my children had to go to school without showering, without a good night's rest, and without any breakfast, because I didn't have any way to make it for them. When I lost my partner, the love of my life, and the father of my children, I was not aware of the struggles that we were still to face. And it is hardship. And I am not alone. There are a lot of single mothers, single fathers, single people who are struggling right now. I don't get food stamps. I go to work in a warehouse with no heat all day long for 10 to 11 hours, 5 days a week, and I come home to a house that's hot because I don't have power. That's terrible. And I do that for my children, to provide them with a great life. And when my refrigerator is going out and I lose all them groceries, I have to pay to replace them. Nobody pays me back. Nobody's bringing me water to flush my toilets. I have to go to a gas station with jugs of water to fill up to bring back to my house so we can use a bathroom or wash our hair in a sink.
I don't think it's fair that people have to suffer because some people don't care.
That's right.
So please look into what is feasible to fix this problem.
For our bills and how they run, and then how we have to pay so much money on these bills, and our life is forever off. We off in the summertime, you know, it ain't got to be storming, it ain't got to be doing anything, we just off.
Mm-hmm.
Since June 1st, we have had 20 unique outage events that lasted at least 1 hour. I think in 2022, I had 53 unique outage events. According to my call log, those are just ones that I knew of because I was at home when the power went out.
We've lost power a whole bunch. I mean, we have. I mean, and I hear these stories, and the thing about it is, I lived in Shelby County for 50-something years, and we didn't have this issue. I have friends in Fayette County that don't have this issue. Nope. But for some reason, we can't get anything done. We deserve better.
There was a span, I know, with in June, it was like Father's Day for about 3 weeks, that we were without power for 96 hours. There were no poles now. There were no wires now. There were only fuses that were tripped. 96 plus hours. No less than 36 hours at a time, probably, for fuses that were tripped. I feel like, if I could speak on behalf of the people, that we feel like we are not being heard. And I feel like that people do not understand that this is a crisis situation. Yep. It is a crisis situation.
But there are people, and we've already heard one story, that are dying. We have elderly people that go for hours, if not days, without power. There's going to be people that die from this if something is not done. And whose fault is that going to be? Are we going to blame that on Mother Nature?
Yeah, that's right.
Because, you know, I'm sorry, but there's only so much we can blame on the weather.
That's right.
I mean, even on a sunny day, the power can go out.
Another problem is TVA told us at the last meeting, we have no power to take it over. We can't do anything to help us. I had a call from Public Service Commission after a complaint from yesterday when I didn't have power. And they basically told me this morning they don't have any power over the utility department. So we're down to where it's legislatures is our only hope.
All of us have the same story. We're tired. We're tired of going home after a long day's journey and no air. We're just tired. We thank God for the last 2 weeks that the lights have stayed on. Finally. Finally, the lights have stayed on. But that is not the solution. For 30 years, something has gone wrong in Marshall County.
Yeah.
Someone has to give an account. Now, we're tired of crying.
Yeah.
We're tired of being without. All we're asking is that someone from Marshall County to Jackson, Mississippi, give us some answers. That's all we have.
So just to recap a couple of things that have been said about tonight. 81% of the customer base of Holly Springs Utility lives in the county. 96% of the land area covered by Holly Springs Utility District is in the county. And 22% of the city budget at this point, according to numbers, is made up of pilot funds. That's profit in lieu of taxes, right? That's what Mark spoke of earlier. Now, if 81% of the customer base is in the county and 22% of the city budget comes from those funds, that means that 18% of the city's budget comes from county residents.
That's right.
County residents who don't have a say on the governing of the city. County residents who don't have a say on the governing of their utility department. County residents who, until tonight, haven't had a say at all.
Finally went out and we bought a generator because we're forced to, and when the power goes out, we have to pay $3.50 for gas to put in the generator.
Some of the people are saying that they're going to have to sell. Well, word's around. Who's going to buy it?
That's right.
Nobody will buy now because they don't want to live in this either.
I called the light company back trying to tell them, ma'am, you've done reported an outage in your area and there is no outage. I had to literally call 911 to tell them I did not have power and my lines were down. They had to finally send a cop out there to finally report that yes, I did not have no electricity. And that is sad, to be honest.
It's been terrible. We counted one day, I know my wife kept up with, I think 49 blimps or surges. And it was a sunny day, 92 degrees.
A lady replied to me, and this is a statement she said, you know, I'm one of those that's on oxygen and dialysis. I can't be at that meeting because I'm just not physically able. But the thing that broke my heart is she was getting her dialysis at her home. But since the power has become so unstable, she is now having to drive to Oxford, Mississippi to get her dialysis. Folks, that is unacceptable here in America. Sometimes something's got to be done. We have to have help and we have to have it now.